Good morning. Sorry, let's try that again. Good morning and welcome to Lake Taupo. Well, I'm not actually at the lake right now. I'm in a field, as you can see, but the lake is just over there. What am I doing here? Well, we were supposed to be using Lake Taupo as the accommodation for our next part of our trip across New Zealand. We were going to be staying here for a couple of days. Today was the day that we were supposed to be heading to the famous alpine crossing in the Tongariro National Park. Now, unfortunately, a couple of days ago, the park experienced pretty serious wildfire, and the government and local councils have had to close the park to the public while the firefighters tackle the blaze and to protect the landscape in this time. So they've closed the park and they've closed access to all of the hiking routes in that area. And that's a real shame, because that area was used in the Lord of the Rings films as the setting for Mordor. So hiking across there was kind of a big thing for me. Really wanted to do it. Really wanted to see that brutal but beautiful landscape. And it's a real shame that I'm not going to get to do that now, because we're on such a tight schedule at our time in New Zealand. We had every day pretty much planned out to the letter, and so can't wait around for the park to be reopened and it to be safe to walk again. But what that does mean is I have an excuse to come back to New Zealand and do the alpine crossing and other things that we want to do. So what am I doing instead? Well, I spent a lot of time yesterday at our accommodation trying to figure out if there was any other hikes to do in the area, in the national park or the area around it. I was scrolling through maps, I was looking on information sites, forums, stuff like that, and there was just no hope. It seems like the park was closed and that there was no hope of doing a hike in that area. And that's when I took a breather and just looked out the window of our accommodation over Lake Taupo itself. We've got an amazing view. And on the other side of the lake, I saw a mountain. That mountain, Mount, and I'm gonna butcher this pronunciation like I probably have everything else. Mount Tahaha, maybe? No. It stretches over 1,000 meters tall, looking over the amazing lake. And much like today, yesterday, it was just completely caped in clouds on the top. It's a lonely mountain. There's no other mountain range in this area, and sitting there on its own with hood of clouds all day long, it had this mysterious, mystical energy that really caught my attention. And I figured, I spent the other day exploring Hobbiton, getting in that mood and that vibe, and I thought, why not take on an unexpected journey? So I got up at the crack of dawn this morning, had my breakfast, and set off to climb this mountain. Here we go. That's the lake, town, and the lake just behind me there. Our accommodation is also just over there. Yeah, it's a beautiful area. So with our plans being thwarted by the fire, we're gonna have to improvise. We're gonna explore the town and the area a little bit. Right now, I'm gonna summit this hill, and once I'm up there, if the clouds have cleared, I'll tell you a little bit more about this very, very interesting lake. See you up the top. So I've made it to the summit of the mountain, and I'm sure there would be a really nice view of the lake if there wasn't all of this cloud, but hey ho, that's just part of the adventure. The cloud is what kind of added to the mystery and the spectacle of this mountain for me, and part of the reason why I wanted to climb it in the first place. So yeah, here I am. Sorry I can't show you the view. I'm sure there is a really good view. I'll cut in some shots of the lake from the shore side, but I keep calling it a lake, and that's not strictly wholly true, because underneath the lake and underneath my feet is actually an ancient supervolcano, and the lake itself fills the crater left behind from a very, very old eruption. If you know anything about supervolcanoes, you're probably thinking about Yellowstone National Park in the USA, and in a way Taupo is actually very similar to that. Beneath the ground is a massive pool of magma just waiting to erupt and potentially destroy the world. Okay. So scientists believe around about 25,000 years ago, sometime during the last ice age, Taupo erupted, and erupted massively. The initial eruption would have devastated the area here, leaving this crater as a scar on the earth. New Zealand itself would have been left uninhabitable by any creatures, and the amount of volcanic matter ejected into the atmosphere likely would have plunged the earth into a volcanic winter. And if you got any conspiracy theorists out there who believe in ancient civilizations that existed sometime around the last ice age, I reckon something like a supervolcano eruption could pretty easily bring the end to any advanced civilization, including our own. Now, they also believe that Taupo erupted again somewhere around 280 to 300 AD. This eruption, slightly smaller, would have again decimated the area. Red skies would have been seen in Australia and much of Asia. And they actually found evidence of this eruption 1,000 kilometers away in the Atlantic Ocean on a small island where 18 centimeters of volcanic ash would have been laid. It's crazy to think that this area actually has so much destructive force and could potentially bring about the end of the world as we know it. But hey ho, it's a cool mountain. It was a cool walk. I'm actually really happy I did this now. You know, like, travel as with life, plans go out the window, problems come in your way, unexpected challenges and obstacles come along, and it's up to us how we deal with that. I've had it before during our travels, and I'm sure it will happen again, but I took the chance to improvise, to climb a mountain that 24 hours ago I didn't even know was here. I've actually had a really fun hike up. It's challenging enough on the incline, gets your heart beating, blood pumping. Got some really nice woodland area that probably protects you from the sun on a day when there would be any sun. And occasionally you just get a glimpse of the town and the lake, and it's really, really special. Kind of teasing you to the view at the top, which right now there isn't any. But I'm sure it is amazing on a clear day. So yeah, I took a chance, and I've actually really enjoyed my morning. I'm going to head back down, meet up with them, and we're going to explore the town. So I'll see you down at the lake. Peace. So we had a day exploring Lake Taupo and the town of Taupo. It's a cute little lakeside town with a a lot of cafes, restaurants, quite a few bars as well actually. I'm sure the nightlife is pretty pumping. Yeah, we had a look around. It's got a lot of outdoorsy hiking shops and little knick-knack places, stuff like that. It's also got a McDonald's with an aeroplane in it, which was a little bit weird. It's like a novelty seating area, but it was really hot inside there when we walked up into it. We had lunch at a traditional English pub. It's always funny to see how your own cultures are reflected in other cultures around the world. Food was good, drinks were good, so can't complain about that, and the atmosphere was pretty much bang on actually. We then spent the evening relaxing in a geothermal hot spring heated by the volcano of Taupo itself. While the rain came down, it was actually really nice being in boiling hot water, rain falling around you. It was quite the evening. And we're now actually 4 hours west of Lake Taupo, just outside of New Plymouth, where we stayed the night. And we are at another volcano that I can't remember the name of. We are at Mount Taranaki. While not a super volcano, Taranaki is seriously impressive. It stands 2,500 meters tall. Its snow-capped peak extending into the sky is pretty much visible from everywhere in New Plymouth. And we're currently making the hike up around the side to a tarn that catches a perfect reflection on a clear day, so hopefully the clouds do clear up. You get a perfect reflection of the mountain. Great spot for social pics or just some outdoors photography. We're just making our way up there now, so stick around and we'll see you at the top. Peace. So we are really up in the clouds now. We've just passed the first hut where you can sleep if you need to. Em's here. It was really nice and warm in there. Some girls had the fire going while they were playing cards.
You can actually kind of see now.
There is kind of a view, but it's mostly just clouds, to be honest. We're really hoping that it does clear up when we get to the tarn, so that we can get the reflection. We might have to wait around. Yeah, the snowy peak. We're nearly there. I can see the tarn just ahead of us, and that's it. I think so.
It's tiny.
Oh, it's so windy. Well, conditions are just getting worse up here. We stopped at the tarn for a bit, but the rain and the clouds just keep pouring in. I don't think we're going to see the volcano today. It's unfortunate. It was supposed to be fairly clear, but the weather is always unpredictable on the mountainside. We're going to make our way back to the hut and then back down, I think, just in case. If it does clear up, we'll run back up here, but right now it's just cold and very, very wet. Unlucky. Well, there's the volcano just poking out of the clouds right now. That's what we would have seen. Would have been even better than that, but unfortunately it just wasn't the day for it. We had a good hike though, and time to get on with our adventure. We'll see you in the next video. Peace.